Welcome to another edition of Tying with Steve. Today we will be tying the pheasant tail, the beadhead pheasant tail nymph. We're looking something like this fella. We will be using some 15 thousandths lead wire, dark brown uni thread, 6/0, small gold ultra wire, of course some pheasant tail, and some peacock herl. We have a size 12 dry fly hook, 7/64 brass bead, and we're going to start off with about 12 wraps of the lead. And give it a little wiggle and it should break right off. Perfect. Cut it nice close to the shank. And we'll shove it all tight. Get it up inside the bead there. We're going to start our thread right behind the lead. Wrap it back, wrap it forward. We want to build a nice taper going into that lead. Nice smooth transition. And wrap a few through the lead, locking it down into place. And back to the barb. Perfect. And we want to take about 8 or 10 barbels of pheasant tail. And we want from the hook bend to the bead about that much. Perfect. We'll wrap this down, keeping it on top of the hook. And get it a little bit further. And we'll fold it over. This is going to add some thickness, some bulk to it. And that's okay. We'll tie in a length of gold wire, and we'll wrap back to the tail, right to the tail, right there. We want to take about 15 or 20 barbels. Sometimes you rip them off and they're crooked. Nothing lines up. And you straighten them out. Get the tips as close as possible. So you end up with something like this. And we will lay them in there at an angle. Snug them down. And we'll get rid of these tips right here. Now, very important step to this fly. A little bit of head cement. Of course, I use Sally Hansen. It's a fingernail polish type material. Stick my hackle pliers on there, and notice I gave them barbels a little twist. And that will keep them from coming apart, separating as I spin them on the hook here. And it doesn't hurt to give them a twist every once in a while. And you see, building it up nice and thick. And we'll tie that off. Right there, plenty of room for the thorax. We'll cut that off. Give us a little more room to work here. Trim this up a little better. There we go. Now I went front to back with the pheasant tail, so I want to come around and go back to front with the wire. Cross layer it, locks it down a little, give it a little more security. And there we go. And there we have the tail and the abdomen. Get some of the fuzz out of this. I have a little stack of barbels, about 20. We want 1/4 inch 3/8 from the back of the bead to the tip. Give it a little soft loop, make sure it's on top. Tie it up to the front, to the hook, to the bead, sorry. You'll see it spread out. And that's what we want. Look at it from the top. See, it's kind of a fan, and that's okay. Lay your scissors down in there and separate them out. You want to about half and half. And while you're holding that far side, you can take a cross thread between the two bundles and pull the ones close to you and do the same thing. Now you have something that looks like that, kind of spread out. And we'll thread back that little guy. Okay, that was just a little fuzz, no problem. I have 3 strands of Peacock here, herl here. And I've taken them, I've ripped off the tips so that they're all nice and even. That's 3 strands actually. And we'll lay it in here. And we'll snug it down. And you can see 1, 2, 3. And I like to give them a little twist. That keeps them from separating when you're wrapping it on here. Right next to the abdomen, work our way up the thorax, filling it all in. And we'll tie it off right there behind those legs. I like to hold this straight up and down, slide my scissors down along it. That way I don't cut anything that I don't want to. I'm going to pull these legs back and get a couple wraps in front of those legs behind the bead. We take this, pull it over the top, pull those legs back out of the way. Let's get one wrap. Make sure you're staying in front of those legs behind that bead. I'm giving it good pressure. And cut that off. Now the legs are still kind of sticking out oddly at the off to the side. So we'll pull them back and we'll build some thread wraps and try and get them side by side, working our way back just a touch. There we go. That's what we want. Looks delicious. And we'll get a couple more wraps on there. Get our whip finisher. Nice figure 4. Couple turns. And there we have it. We'll take our head cement. Loosen up the vise so we can turn. And go right around those thread wraps. And we'll touch it up the whole way around. Very important part, right on that wing case. Get a little bit in there. You'll see it soak in. And it'll soak in. Now it's not soaking in anymore. That's plenty. And there you have it. Beadhead pheasant tail. Great nymph. Great producer. It's got sparkle. It's got size. Until next time.